Hey everyone, welcome back to my Loom kitchen, and today I'll be showing you how to make a 3D life-size version of the Frappuccino, or if you don't want it to be a Frappuccino, it could be a milkshake or a smoothie, really up to you. So click on the recipe link below to get to the recipe page to find out the number of pans needed for this creation. After that, come back and let's begin. So before we get to the actual tutorial, there are a few items that we need to pre-make. First would be if you were actually making the Frappuccino, you would need the logo or the emblem for the glass. I won't show you how to make this, but you could check out Jordan Teen 1's tutorial on the medium starburst and replace the colors with green and white, but tie it off with one clear band. Another thing you'll have to make is the straw. It's just a simple chain of double bands, 5 chains or 6, depending on how long you want your straw to be. And of course, it doesn't have to be green. If you're making a regular milkshake or a smoothie, you can make it any color you want. But if you could tie it off, or I mean, rather leave it on 2 clear bands or white bands at the end and just set it aside. The last thing that we need to pre-make is this glass rim. To make this glass rim, you'll just need to get your hook, crochet hook or a loom hook. Get a single clear band, wrap it on your hook 3 times. Get another one, 3 times as well. Then you get 2 clear bands or 2 of your glass bands. Then push those wrap bands one at a time. So it looks that way. You'll need 18 pieces for this large milkshake. So let's start. We'll need a regular loom. Remove the center row, and if you could have the 2 remaining rows facing on opposite directions, I have my front row facing to the right and my back row facing to the left. If you notice, I've marked off the ends because this entire creation will be using 18 pegs. Sorry, those are 9 pins per side. And these are just my guides. So let's start with the whipped cream. I have to start with our whipped cream. You get 2 of your whipped cream bands, white, and wrap it around your hook twice, so you have 3 rounds. Now you get 2 more white bands, pull it through, and we're going to place this at the very center. Now you're going to get 2 more bands, and you're going to insert your hook in the middle. Pull up those 2 bands, bring one here, and X the other one there. Now we're going to do double bands around these 4 pegs. And we're going to lift the lower bands up and over. Now, from these 4 pegs, we're going to extend to 6. Get 2, extend here, 2, extend here, close it off here, and close it off here. So before I continue, I just want to note there are two versions of the whipped cream. You can have it all plain white on top, or if you're doing the Frappuccino, like the caramel Frappuccino, and there is a caramel drizzle on top of the whipped cream. So if you wanted to do a drizzle on top of your whipped cream, so this on 6 pegs, we have 2 rounds. On the first round, you're going to do 1 white and 1 color. And if you can mix it up, like sometimes you have the caramel on top and the white in the bottom, and next one you have your caramel under, just so that it's not so uniform and it just looks more natural. And lift everything up and over. On the second round, on the 6 pegs, will be all plain white. Feel free to pause the video at any time if I end up fast forwarding or transitioning to the next phase, and unpause just when you're able to catch up. So after 2 rounds on 6 pegs, we're going to extend to 8. We have 2 rounds on 8, and the first round will be all white, and the second one will have your drizzle. After 2 rounds on 8 pegs, we are now going to extend to 14 pegs. So that would give you, let's mark that off with 2 white bands here and 2 white bands here. So we're going to add on the base, 2 more white bands here, exit out here. So this is the extended base of the whipped cream area. And now we're going to add on our straw. Feel free to add your straw anywhere you'd like. I just add it on here just because I'm used to it, but whatever you want your drink to look is fine. So take one band on both ends and just spread it out in an X evenly The other side. So it looks that way. On the 14 pegs, we're going to be laying double bands on 4 rounds total. So on the first round will be all white. Then lift everything up and over. On your second round, you'll have if you have the drizzle on your whipped cream, we'll have the white mixed with your drizzle or syrup color. Third round would be white and the fourth round will be white. So pause your video, finish off this round 1 and your round 2 with the drizzle, round 3 plain white, round 4 plain white, and unpause when you're done and come back. We'll resume from there. So we've just finished the 4 rounds of the whipped cream on the 14 pegs. And if you have a drizzle, a caramel drizzle or chocolate drizzle on your whipped cream, it should look a little bit like this. If it's plain, then it should look this way. Now we're going to add on the glass base. Like I mentioned, this was my marker. So our glass rim will end here. So you place 2 clear bands X'd out on the marked areas. Get another 2. Pick up your whipped cream bands. Pull them through. Replace the peg with one end and put the other side here. Another 2 bands. Pull through. Replace one end here. Other side here. And we're going to repeat that on this side. So it should look this way. Now we're going to get 2 clear bands. Pull out the whipped cream bands here. Pull it through. Place one on the previous peg. Replace the other end on the peg you just removed the white bands from. Just make your way down. So if you notice on this side, every peg, if you can see, has 4 rounds except for these 2. So you just get 2 more and just X out here. So this entire side has 4 rounds. Pause your video. Now repeat what you just did here on the other side. Unpause when you're done and we'll resume from there. So we just finished adding on the base of our glass, and now every peg should have 4 rounds. Now you're going to need all your pre-made glass rims, and we're going to take one side of each and just attach it all around the 18 pegs. So now all our glass rim attachments have been placed. We're going to lift all the lower 4 bands up and over. So push everything down. Now let's move on to the foam portion of our shake, Frappuccino, milkshake, smoothie. So since I'm making a caramel Frappuccino here, I'm using my caramel colored bands, and I'm mixing it up for the foam portion with mother of pearl bands. So you get one of each color and just lay it all around the 18 pegs. And same process, after laying them down, you're going to lift the lower bands up and over. The foam portion takes three rounds. So pause your video, finish up 3 rounds of the foam portion, and when you're done, unpause, and we can resume from there. So we're back and we've finished 3 rounds of our foam on the 18 pegs. And now the first thing we're going to do is get your charm emblem, attach this way, and just hook it onto the center peg. Now you're going to get 2 of your main flavor bands, and you're going to go around the 18 pegs. And same process, after going around the 18 pegs, we're going to lift all the lower bands up and over. When you lift the bands up and over, there should only be 4 rounds on each peg, except for the peg where the charm is, which would have 5 because this has 1 on the charm. So now pause your video. We need to do 5 rounds of the main color on the 18 pegs. This is round 1. Unpause your video when you're done with the 5 rounds and we'll resume from there. So we just finished 5 rounds on 18 pegs, and you can slowly push up your creation so it won't be too tight in the bottom. And if you didn't read the recipe page before starting, then, and I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but this Frappuccino does need some stuffing. And I like stuffing my work slowly because at this point we're going to start tapering down the glass, so it's easier while the opening is still big. So if you can use fiber fill or cotton balls, whatever you use, stuffed toy stuffing, and just slowly stuff your creation so it won't be so hard to reach later on. So we are on 18 pegs and we're now going to decrease to 16. So if you go to this peg, lift the upper two, and the opposite side comes from here, so bring it to here. Lift the lower two, bring it back there. For this side, get the upper two, other end's coming from here, so bring it forward. Bring the lower two back here. So now we're going to do the same process of getting to the two bands and laying the bands all around the 16 pegs. And after you're done laying the bands around, you're going to lift all the lower bands up and over again. And you're going to need 3 rounds. So pause your video, finish 3 rounds, unpause when you're done, and we'll resume from there. So now we've just finished 3 rounds on the 16 pegs, and now we're going to attach the lower portion of the logo, and you just get one of your flavor colored bands or a clear band, and just take a portion with your hook, pull it through like a little slip knot, and just place that flavor colored band, just place it there on that middle peg, and you do one more round of double bands around your 16 pegs. Then again, we're going to lift all the lower bands up and over. So after that, push your creation up again. Then if you can stuff it a little bit again, because we're going to decrease and taper the glass. So from the 16 pegs, we're going to go down to 14. So take the upper two on this peg, and the opposite side comes from here, so let's bring it forward. Lower two here, upper two on the back comes from here, so bring that forward. This goes there. So now on 14 pegs, lay double bands again all around, and we're going to need 4 rounds on these 14 pegs. So pause your video again. This is round 1. Finish off this round, lay down your bands and lift the lower bands up and over. And repeat that 3 more times. Total of 4 rounds. Unpause when you're done, and we'll resume from there. So we just finished our 4 rounds on our 14 pegs, and now we're going to decrease one last time. From here, take the upper 2 bands, and the opposite comes from here, so let's bring it to the back. Bring this to the front. Now on this portion, upper 2, other end comes from here, so let's bring this to the front. Bring the lower 2 here. Now we're down to 12 pegs, and you're going to take 2 bands and go make 1 round on the 12th. Then lift all the lower bands up and over. Okay, for the second round on your 12 pegs, you're going to first take 2 bands, then you're going to alternate with single bands doubled on itself. So 2 bands, single band, doubled. Another 2, and single band, doubled. You're going to do that all around. And after you're done laying that all around, lift the lower bands again up and over. And you're going to do, after this round, you're going to do 1 more. Pause your video, finish up this double band round, and do 1 more. And unpause when you're done. So at this point, you should have finished your alternate double band, single wrapped around itself double bands twice on these 12 pegs, and we're doing our last round. Let's take single bands and go lay that around the 12 pegs. And lift all the lower bands up and over. You should only have 2 rounds left on each peg. So now we're going to get ready to close this. We're going to close from here, but first we go across here, separate the upper and lower bands. Put your hook in, pick up the lower of the 2, bring it up and over here. Put your hook in, push back the upper 2, pick up the lower band, move it forward. Push back, pick up the lower band, move it forward. Repeat that all around. Last one should only have 1. Bring it to the peg we started from. Put your hook in. Pull a single band through to tie that off. Slowly help it off the loom. Stuff it and reshape it. And that's it.